Welcome back. This is LG Runs Wild. We're the animals. We the crew. Hopefully expanding soon. How you guys
Ooh.
doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic right now. I just played some NCAA, so a little throwback.
Nice. Yeah, I was watching that. That looks like a lot of fun. Honestly, that game looks more fun than Madden to me.
Oh yeah, that's way better
That
than
look
Madden.
that looks so much fun.
Yeah,
I almost want to get my PlayStation to just go down we go buy it.
it's like $70. That game is
Yeah.
because it's the last
Yeah, it's
NCAA
on.
game.
Yeah, it's
Really?
expensive as shit. Yeah. Um, Nothing. I'm just chilling tonight.
Oh, you were wearing a different headset tonight.
I just got AirPods in, AirPod Pros. So
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah,
That's different.
yeah, a little bit. I'm showing the flow a little bit more. I need a fucking haircut.
Man. So the queen died.
oh yeah,
R.I.P.
Like the queen died. Like,
yeah. That's sad.
but it's okay because the real queen, the true queen, died in January. R.I.P. Betty White.
Yeah, R.I.P. Betty White. Gotta bring
Yeah,
Wait, Betty White died?
yeah, she died in January at 99, like 12 days before her 100th birthday.
What the?
And everyone was like, well, if you take all the leap years that she was a part of, she technically hit 100.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that's
funny.
But yeah, uh, this year we lost some really truly great women.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So so it's final season. What happened to your team, Gazelle?
Uh, we came into the series and played like absolute fucking dog shit the first three games.
You guys didn't score in the first, did you?
We didn't score in three games. No, we had 0 goals through the first three games. It was uh, it was embarrassing, I guess to say. Like, and we all knew it. We were all like, "Fuck," we really shit the bed starting this
Yeah.
series out, and then Paul's line, led by Paul, true fashion, playoff Paul. He willed us to a fucking game four win, and then came back out and guys won game five, and then won game six. Got to game seven. Game seven was a true game seven. It was a lot of neutral zone play. Ended up losing an OT, unfortunately, 1-0. So it was
Yeah.
tough.
I watched the game seven. That was a good game.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, because I felt bad
Oh,
for the guys because I thought they played really well that game. I felt like they dominated majority of the game. It just came down to who got the lucky break and ended up going to Ontario. And props to Ontario, they're a solid team. Um, you know, I'm I'm not ashamed to lose to a team like that. So
yeah, no, that was a wild series. It was just like you guys went down 0-3 and didn't score.
yeah,
And then it was just like then you guys won three straight, and it was just like 3-2, 3-2, 2-0. I was like, oh, they got some momentum.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, game seven's gonna be lit. And it was.
yeah.
But I was like, oh, that would have been so sick. Like it was the 1 versus 2 seed in the AHL.
Hmm.
Like that's your I feel like that was really gonna be the real Calder finals, but that's just me.
Yeah, that you know,
Like no disrespect to Rochester, but
yeah, that
yeah.
I truly I truly did feel that, and I still feel that whoever won that is who's going to win the finals.
Oh,
So I, and honestly too, I'm pulling for the Rain. I don't have anything against GK and those guys. Love those guys too, but the Rain. This is like what their fourth. I think Lup's fourth year, Clemson's third or fourth year back to the
yeah.
finals, and they're 0-3. If they fucking 0-4 it, I'm just gonna start calling them Jim Kelly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope they can win one. They deserve it. They're competitive teams every season. They just always end up falling short in the finals. So hopefully they
I
change it here.
I'm absolutely blown away by how fucking easy Rochester took out Providence. Like they spanked them.
Yeah, they legit shit on
Like
Providence.
like
There was, I think it was game 3.
there was two of them were absolute barn
Uh,
burn. 6-1 in game one, 7-0 in
yeah,
game
that
three,
one.
5-2 in game four.
The 7-0 in game 3. That
Like
was
what?
Providence's top line
Yeah,
that got dumped on 7-0 by Rochester's third.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I mean, Providence,
They
they,
got absolutely fucking destroyed.
yeah,
I was expecting that to be a close series, and it was like nothing like that at all.
yeah,
Like no disrespect to Rochester, I still don't think they're gonna win the Calder, but I didn't expect them to absolutely just decimate Providence.
yeah,
I think you have to legitimately see them as a threat, though. Like they're not just gonna get walked over.
No,
yeah. I don't know. Got an issue going on with my computer right now, though. Trying to fix
oh,
it really quick. Yeah.
you good, dude?
What's going on?
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, something just like everything lagged down real quick, and
Oh,
trying
right.
to fix it real quick on the fly here for us.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I only have rain in 6, by the way.
yeah, the rain in 6.
Rain in 6, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, that
I'm just blown. I just did not expect that out of them, out of Rochester, to just dummy Providence like that. Especially after they went
yeah,
to 7 the first two series against again two really good teams.
right. So
They they've been underdogs all playoffs pretty much, and they've just well not trampled teams, but like they've taken out the high seeds, and then they get to Providence, and then they just absolutely just pooped on
yeah, absolutely, it's crazy. Um, trying to fix this. This is all fucked up.
them.
Sorry. There we go. That should work now. There we go.
Heinz is telling you to figure it out.
He said stupid ads, figure it out. Yeah, see there, it just crashed.
Oh geez, his Discord crashed.
Yeah,
Did it really?
Yeah, his Discord went down for a second.
here we go.
There we go. There he's back. He's
Yeah, it's,
back.
I don't know what's up with that. Sorry, guys. It's crazy.
This is why I used to host the calls.
Well, I usually never. I don't have any fucking issues. It's so what happened. So here's what happened here. This random fucking ad popped up, like it's covering like 3/4 of my left display, and it's just frozen on the screen.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't even know where the ad came from. So that's why I was like trying to figure it out, and
Definitely
it's
thoughts.
literally frozen on the screen. So I think whatever it is bad. So bear with me here
Yeah.
real quick. I gotta try something and see if this fixes it.
Oh man, to have computers and us relying on technology, right?
Right. Why is that running there? Check this background process.
To all the viewers watching, are you guys excited for the finals? Because it's AHL and NHL like finals, and it's OHL and WHL finals, and there are some shocking teams in the CHL finals,
Is
in
there?
my opinion. Well, I mean, I'm absolutely blown away that Heinz and Swift Current are in the WHL finals
Uh
as the 7 seed.
yeah, I mean
But
they
no disrespect. but
They've earned it.
Yeah,
yes,
they kind of
every
turned it on.
every every series has gone either 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna get bounced in the first round personally by
Yeah,
Vincent Harrod, but they've continually like ever since that first series, they've kind of proven that they aren't a team to fuck with. So
no, I don't disagree. It's not what I was expecting out of the WHL East.
oh no, not
You
me
don't
either. I mean,
like there was. I mean that whole conference was meh at best, but
yeah,
you don't expect a 7th seed of a meh conference to win it.
Yeah, I don't know much about the
It's just
CHL, so I.
like no, like I said, no disrespect to Hines. He managed with JP and Eamon, and like learned a lot back in Barrie. Like he's a solid manager,
Mm,
but I just not expecting this.
well,
I think
that's the playoffs, so.
I,
Yeah. How about last Sunday? How it was Game 7 between Portland and Victoria after we rescheduled the game because of the booting issues.
There we go. Sorry. All right, I finally got it fixed, so stream quality should be back improved. And it was that I found that ad, and I was able to end it. It was causing my PC to use 98% of the memory. That's why everything was starting to crash. Like I don't know where the fuck that thing came from, but yeah,
Yikes.
like it came off the LG site. That's the only thing I had to open, so it had to have come from that. But sorry.
Tris, Tris, what are you doing to our
God,
servers?
what are you doing to me? Sorry, go ahead here.
I
What's
was I was saying Portland
Oh,
and Victoria,
yes.
we rescheduled Game 7 because we got
yeah,
router logs from Victoria of them being booted. So Brody was just like, play the game fair, restart
Well,
the game.
and that's the absolute correct call in that situation.
And
Uh,
what sucks is like nobody knew when Game 7 was. Like it was like they played it at 7 o'clock on Sunday.
mm,
Nobody knew when it was gonna be because it wasn't broadcasted. It wasn't. Nobody knew. So like they and both teams did a great job of making sure it stayed dark.
yeah,
But Burnell still got kicked offline the moment the game's
yeah.
like five,
So,
not even 5 minutes into the second period, and he was held offline for 25 minutes.
well, let's touch on that, right? So you know, does it suck that he's getting booted? Absolutely, but if you are being booted that much, like you got to take some accountability and
Oh,
make
hands
some
down.
like take some steps to fucking protect yourself, right? I mean, change your IP, pay the
He
$10,
didn't.
blacklist it.
He
Like,
didn't know how to change his IP, so I told him how to do that, and he was gonna do
oh,
it
he
after
didn't.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that
he
makes
didn't know
sense then.
how.
Okay, well, see, at least he reached out and talked to you about it because and anybody watching, if you guys have questions on that, we got the steps for you guys to take. It's it's definitely
What was
something worth doing.
yeah. What was crazy too is like they held like he would like whoever did it. Like I'm saying they. Like I'm not saying Portland. I'm just saying they as like the booter
Hmm.
held Burnlow's offline for 25 minutes, and I was trying to ping Brody about like a roster swap because Steel Phantom was technically he was around, but he was on IR last week, so wasn't technically eligible to play
Yeah,
as a roster swap because he's IR'd, but he was there.
yeah,
So they didn't want to have to use an ECU. So I was just like, if Burnals can like get online, then like play him. So he got online. They matched the moment, literally the moments they matched, off, knocked offline again, and held off till the game ended. Literally till the end of the game because he played Game 1 versus Seattle,
yeah. And he
and
was just
he
fine that
got
game,
a
right?
and he got a shutout.
He got a shutout. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and he like stole that game.
Did he?
But
wow.
yeah, but Victoria beat Portland 1-0 in OT, and like that it was a really fucking good game. Like nobody was watching it. It was like I was in the Victoria Discord, and they had MJ streaming it to the Discord, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good
There was
idea.
like 4 of us watching, and management were all in the game. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, there wasn't like a lot of there was no coverage of it, so but it was a really good game, like very very tight the whole way through.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw the updates and staff chat from you on it, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
that was
it,
and the ECU goalie fucking stepped up, man. Like
yeah,
he did a great job. And then I don't want to say they made easy work of Seattle, but they made easy work of Seattle.
I
yeah.
didn't actually get a chance to look at that series much.
And it ended really fast. It was 3-1 after the first 2 nights, and I was like, it's over. And they won in 6. Victoria wasn't going to 7 again. They were like, nope.
Yeah, but I mean, there were close games though. Like
Yes,
Seattle stayed in it.
Let's
but
see. Let's take a look
I
here.
I don't want to discredit Hines at all, but I still think this is going to be like an easy series for Victoria.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
nuts. The away team won
5
five
of the
of
six
the six
6 games.
games.
Yeah,
Wow, you don't see that often.
no. And if you look at the Broncos Warriors series, the home team won all 7. All 7.
wow.
Oh man, they
Yeah.
had a 1-0 game 7 too, huh?
Yes, they did, and that was also a really fucking good game.
Yeah, I heard the Kingston and Oshawa game 7 was pretty crazy.
Like it ended 1-0 in regulation. The shots were 5-4,
Wait, really?
and the time on attack was 4:27 to 2:05. Like it was in
Oh,
like
all
it
neutral
was a
zone then.
neutral zone game.
So that's a lot like our game was then.
No penalties, no hits. Like
Everybody
the
played smart.
like the defense for Swift Current held the puck for 13 minutes combined. The two D men,
Oh
the
yeah.
the forwards combined for 6.
Um.
Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
That's like an exact replica of our game against Ontario.
The
Um.
game 7.
Yeah, our game 7. Sham
Yeah,
had the puck almost 10
yeah,
minutes, and Klims had the puck for them. I believe like 8 or 9 minutes, if I remember
yeah,
right. So it sounds
yeah.
like it was pretty much the same type of game. And I think the shots in our game
It was like
were
9-8 or something. Yeah, I
I think
remember.
6-4 or something, 7-4 maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
But yeah, that sounds like exactly like our game 7. That's crazy,
yeah, yeah. All neutral zone. That's crazy. Yeah.
especially for the
So
the CHL. That's some
there's
like,
some good teams, man.
well, that's
There's
like that means that they were trapping really well, right? Which isn't
oh
something you
yeah,
normally see in the CHL.
yeah.
Um, so that's man, that'd be a good game to watch.
I
Yeah.
think Hines' team is gonna win 2 games, but they're down in 6.
You think so?
I think so. I
Yeah.
I nothing against Hines' team, but Victoria's on a mission now.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
straight up.
I'm excited for those guys. They always had their woes with round 2, but once he got past round 2, they did really good in the quarters, and now
It
they're
took them
in the
five
semifinals.
seasons, 5 seasons of game sevens in a row in round 2.
Yeah, well, good things are worth the wait,
You have
so
to replay that one.
they're hungry for it.
So
So
people
Wow.
are like, "Oh my God, there's an asterisk beside it now."
now there's no asterisk beside that. That is not something. It wasn't on a level playing field because of booting.
Yeah,
So, in my opinion, if we didn't make the game replay, it would be an asterisk on the game then, because it would
yeah.
be, would Portland win that game if there wasn't booting?
I
Yeah.
still
Well,
think that series was over in 5 if their starting goalie was playing. That also makes a difference.
Oh yeah, that's because Phantom's a really good goalie.
He's having a great year.
yeah.
Yeah, so um, he's balled out,
Yep.
and so missing him definitely hurts. But Bergen stepped up and did
Yes,
what
he
he needed
did.
to do. So it's always nice to see that happen.
Now let's talk about the OHL. Bye bye Clemmy.
I feel so bad for him.
I
Yeah.
do, but I don't. That Oshawa team's hungry.
Yeah, that
The two teams that I said that could take out Kingston are the two teams left.
yeah, I do remember you saying that, Saginaw or Oshawa, yeah.
And the crazy part is, like I said, Saginaw is a lot better than people say they are. And they just absolutely have torched through the playoffs so far. I mean,
Yeah.
they torched us no problem.
Well,
They
they've only lost 4 games in the whole playoffs.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
like the
that's
games against London were close, except for
mm,
Game 6,
what was the score in Game 6?
5-1.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good series,
Mm-hmm.
but again, another series where the away team won 5 games,
Yeah.
and the Kingston series, the home team won every game except Game 7.
Yeah, that's nutty.
That Game 7 was nutty.
I heard it was really good. I didn't get to watch it obviously because our Game 7 was going on at the same time.
Yeah,
Obviously, so I was watching our Game 7. Um, but yeah, I heard it was really good. Uh,
I heard it too. Yeah. What's crazy is that apparently Oshawa they thought they were done because they went 0-2 on Sunday against Edgar's line, which is their top line.
mm-hmm.
But then they tied it on Monday, and everyone was just like, "They're fucked. Edgar can't play till Game 7." And then Edgar did play Game 7 and lost.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that
I was looking at the time on attack too for that game, and I didn't get to watch it, but
no, nobody got to watch. I only heard about it.
yeah, it was it looks like
Kingston dominated.
Kingston dominated and just didn't get the bounces, but you don't know until you see it, you know.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Uh, I find it really interesting. I always look at the puck possession per player.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting game to look at too, because the lefty for Kingston had it literally almost 33% of the game,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been Sevi, which surprises me because Selly wasn't utilized very much at all. Who's
No,
ballistic guys, and that shocked me, and maybe it has something to do with it. But and that group over there in Oshawa, Swifty and them,
yeah,
like they're scary.
yeah.
Yeah, they got a pretty good team, and they're trucking along right now.
Yo,
So
everyone was trashing like this draft, saying how there's gonna be nobody in this draft. This draft is loaded.
this is
Like
like the
the
best
first,
one in since like season 32 or 35 or
like
like
this draft
Yeah,
is absolutely nuts.
yeah, this is a good draft. I don't know why someone would be saying
People
it's
have been
not.
like,
There's
people are saying it's gonna be one of the worst drafts. It's like, yo, this is probably like one of the most like top heavy for like a while.
yeah,
yeah,
these guys actually like there's actual guys that could play NHL level coming from the CHL. The last draft we had, there was like 4 of them.
Half of Kingston, half of Oshawa,
Mm. So
at least.
yeah,
Like
there's because like what the last draft there was only Ulmer, Krusty,
there was like 6 guys.
yeah, or no, that wasn't even the last draft. That was 2 again. Shit, see this last draft, I don't even know.
Last draft was dude.
Yeah, that's right. Sudud was there, but I mean, great AHL player, but he's not ready for the NHL, and he was picked number 9. So that I think this one you're going to see a lot of those guys make the jump.
Suddu went 5. It was Coach Boyer, next Blue Shore, Suddude Rosart, and then
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We traded up and got 5. That's right.
yeah.
We were at 9, traded up, got him at 5. Yeah.
But
So
yeah, like it drops off after the top 6.
Yeah,
I mean, that's also because pick 7 was skipped. Fucking Flyers. Speaking of the fucking Flyers,
here we go.
yo, did y'all see the comments that John Tortorella made today on fucking about the Flyers locker room?
I saw it when she said it.
Man, man, yo, that just had to happen to be a perfect segue. I'm sorry. That fell in my plate. Um,
I'm a Flyers fan too, so
that like I'm
Like,
sorry. I have nothing too nice to say about the Flyers. I think
it's
that
been
whole
rough.
organization is a giant dumpster fire.
Oh,
And the fact that they've hired John Tortorella in the middle of a rebuild when he's not good with youngsters and he's just an absolutely brutal coach in the first place. I have some serious concerns. And he literally said today, I have major concerns about the room. You can't get squat done on the ice until you get your room straight, and I think we have a little bit of work to do there, making it clear that he does not like their locker room and he's in no rush to name a captain. And I'm just like, oh
yeah.
man,
I
oh man, I
when
can't wait for
we
press conferences this season.
when we hired him, I was just like, what the fuck?
I was
Like,
what the fucking when you hired Chuck Fletcher, but
I mean, yo,
All right, bad hand.
we've known for a few years now, like for a few, fuck, we've known for at least 10 years that Tortorella is nuts. He
Well,
does
and
not give one single fuck,
no,
and
as,
will do what he does.
he did fantastic in Columbus.
Oh, 100%.
yeah, but
But
his
he
He
average
is a
expects
player
a.
small
age,
market coach.
yeah,
He is not a good guy
He
for the big
also
lights.
just
Like,
workhorses his players.
I like that though. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but you're going into Philadelphia, who's a very diehard franchise,
yep.
but that franchise is also a dumpster fire.
but think about it. What other coach? Alain Vigneault or whatever. He didn't embody Philadelphia. Tortorella embodies Philly. Like, name another coach that embodies the Philly mentality more than him.
You're right there. I mean
Ron
it's
Hextall.
true, but yeah, that's a good one. That guy used to fucking literally hack people's knees with his goalie stick
isn't
back
he?
in the day.
Isn't he your GM?
Yeah, yeah, he's a GM.
Yeah,
So I mean, yeah, like there you go. Like that doesn't even paint a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like I can't stand the Flyers. I can't stand the Penguins either. So I hate both Pennsylvania teams. So I have zero bias. But man, I feel bad for Flyers fans. But at the same time, like y'all have earned your fucking dirtbag fucking rep. Especially
Yeah.
the ones at the arenas that are making all the fucking Flyers fans look like dirtbag idiots.
I mean, but going
Oh,
back to that, you have to remember you essentially have hired Chuck Fletcher, who is like the same guy who gave out the Parise Suter contract.
yeah.
That's a big yikes. That's
Yeah.
like hiring who's that Boston guy that went to Edmonton? Fuck, can't remember his name. Chiarelli.
Mm.
Oh, Shirelli, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I still really like the McDavid contract
No.
because the Draisaitl contract is nuts. Draisaitl's underpaid,
Oh yeah.
big
Agreed.
time,
But
big time
look at
underpaid.
look at how bad Edmonton farm system has been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Their farm system's dog shit. It's worse
Well,
than the Flyers.
their farm system's dog shit because they get generational first overall picks.
Yeah.
But you have to
They just go
remember
straight to the
generational
NHL.
first overall picks, but they also have the first pick and the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Like, and they do
No,
nothing with
they
it.
traded them all away for fucking Milan Lucic.
I know, yeah,
They
that's
traded the
not.
farm for Lucic.
I haven't had an issue with my organization, so
We're Ducks fans, so
yeah, we do actually pretty well at being quiet
the
and
Ducks are gonna
doing.
be a good team in like a really good team in like 3 years.
Yeah,
But y'all are wasting John Gibson's prime.
that's okay. You know,
He's
I'm a St.
literally a
Louis
top
native.
5 goalie in the
I
league.
know, I know. Hey, you know, I wouldn't mind him getting traded to St. Louis and getting something out of it. So that's what I want.
Yo, imagine if a team like Colorado got a Gibson.
That'd be
Oh,
stupid.
I mean, yo,
that'd be nuts.
give Georgiev time. Now that he's got a
Oh
real team in
yeah,
front of him, like he's a good goalie. The Rangers, like, they just needed to get rid of him because he's a starter and no one's gonna outrace Shesterkin. He's literally the best goalie in the league, hands down already.
Yeah.
Like he made Vasi look bad this year, like regular season wise, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And the team quality difference is huge.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
excited because like you're finally seeing the league take this stance where they're gonna start like letting the younger kids play, and people aren't signing the fucking stupid contracts of like Zach Aston Martin Reese or whatever.
oh
Yeah.
my
You
god,
know,
yeah.
I mean like you're not getting like there's so many people without contracts right now that like you would expect to have contracts by now, and
Yeah.
they're letting the younger kids get a chance to crack the roster.
Yeah.
Which I love this new youth movement. I think it's gonna make hockey boom again
Well, there's a
in the
lot of
states.
really good young players. Like
Yep.
now, more so now than ever.
Well,
So
yeah, the players are so much more skillful now.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
Link
shit. But look at the
Kaprizov.
shit they have to fucking train with. Like, dude, when
Yeah.
I was playing hockey, like competitive hockey and shit,
Yeah.
we had like a fucking here's a tennis ball.
No,
You know,
hold on.
like
You forget that like Brett Hull and like hacked darts on the bench like while he was fucking when he first got in the league. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm also thinking like when I was at the World Juniors, okay, I went to 2 games and I saw someone try the Michigan 6 times. Like during the 2 games, I saw the Michigan tried 6 times.
Yeah.
Like it's getting to the point where like it's going to be an everyday thing in almost every game. Like
Well,
these
yeah.
kids are bringing the tricks. Like Zegras has also set the bar like
I
really
was just
high.
gonna say like Zegras, dude.
Like Zegras is a human cheat code. Like I
Okay.
absolutely like I'm a Sharks fan. Like I'm like beholden to hate the Ducks, but like I love that kid. Like that kid's modest. Like he's not like a dirt bag about it. Like he's super chill and he like
Mm.
super humble and like I was just like, damn. Like this kid's like what 19?
He reminds
What
me a
I'm
lot of Paul Correa.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited because like you like take hockey and take baseball, right? Like
yeah,
baseball has pushed all of their personalities out almost,
Yeah.
and like hockey's kind of embracing it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I love about it. Like to watch, like I think the coolest part about that Zegras like over the net pass was
yeah,
like how he stunned himself. Like
Yeah.
he shocked himself that he made that play.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
I think
not
that
just
says a lot
that.
about the guy,
I mean, he made that play, but then who was the guy that actually scored the goal?
Tony
yeah,
Milano.
Okay, yeah. So then that guy with the hand eye and the reaction time to fucking knock
Still
that
doesn't
in.
have a contract, by the way.
Really?
27 years old without a contract.
That's crazy.
Like, what's crazy about that goal too is like not only just a hand eye to score it, but like you gotta track that from behind the goalie.
Yeah.
Like you have a wall there, and then to be able to see it go over the net and then to hit it,
Mm-hmm.
like
To actually hit it
and
square too.
yeah,
And
and like that's
let's
quick
take into
thinking, man.
consideration, yeah, how quick he thought about doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Like
that's insane.
that's like it's like a half-second reaction because like you see it come over the goalie's shoulder and you're like, oh fuck, puck,
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
I, I'm excited. I think it's only gonna the quality of hockey has gone up so significantly since we were kids. I mean, I
Yes,
remember watching the '03. That was like core memories for me, like the '03 Jaguar run,
Oh
yes,
and
yeah.
like yeah, that's like one of my most memorable
yeah.
hockey moments of my life. watching it on like a tube television, and like it was all neutral zone like trap hockey, and it was so boring.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and you went to like 5 OTs back in the day.
Yeah.
Man,
So
I remember growing up, like I used to go to like a boys and girls club, and I can't remember what year it was, but they had the Sens Sabres series on.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
the really good Sen. I think it was Eastern Conference Finals or something.
The one with like Dominic Hasek and shit. You talking like
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah. Like I think it was
Yeah.
like oh 04, I want to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, that
oh
was
04, it
that
was
was
like
Ryan
way.
Miller then, right?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Miller.
I thought you're
So
see, I thought
It
you were
was the
talking
Miller,
about thought you were talking about like way back in the day.
no.
Miller and Ray Emery, right?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Ray
the year
Emery.
the
Rest
Sens.
in
I don't
peace.
think it was the year that the Sens went to the Cup, but
No, it
No.
was the year before.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
man,
when
that was like I'm a Sharks fan, but I watched every one of those games, and let me tell you, like the city was buzzing.
Yeah.
oh
Like the whole like there was vibes going around the city. Like yo, the Sens are killing it. Oh, this is a good series. Like this.
got out Vancouver. Um,
Oh my god.
Sorry. We got kid things to handle here.
Oh
no, you're
no, not again.
Yeah, my wife's working till 10 tonight, so
So first, his computer decides to, die on him, and now he's got to deal with kid stuff. What a guy!
there was a problem. Oh, you're trying to log into Amazon Alexa?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh,
No. No, 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 no. You don't know. Mm-mm. Get out of here.
uh,
No.
I
No.
already hooked it up downstairs.
I oh, you took that off my desk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That was tape.
it's my work stuff, dude.
We already unboxed it.
so I'm gonna bring it back to the OHL Finals
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
because we talked about last rounds, but we didn't actually talk about this round.
Yeah.
And so we have Saginaw, who I've been telling everyone is really the wagon that they're showing in the standings.
Yep.
And then there's Oshawa, who went on an absolute fucking tear after the trade deadline and hasn't stopped. And they just took out Plymouth's team.
So I have a question for you here. This is where I
Yeah.
want to pose a question. Is the CHL going to remain dark?
So there's one series that is for sure staying dark,
Okay.
and the second series it's up for debate still.
Okay. See, because
It's
I'm
yeah.
truly wondering that because here's like my view on it, like especially the CHL because this is LG's entry league, right? Like this
Yeah.
is the time where you know everybody's on the site watching
Yeah.
these games, like wanting to watch these games. Our AHL
Yep.
streams have been 80 plus every game,
Oh yeah.
right? Like all throughout the
I know.
playoffs, 80 plus. And so a lot of those guys that are coming into that because that's on the NHL category, which is small viewership. So
Yep.
these guys are like, wow, there's like 5 games here. It's like 80 plus. Like, what's going on? What's this? And they'll click on it. And guys that don't know about LG, like it's a easy promo for the league. Like guys are like, wow, this is really competitive, you know?
Yep.
And
yeah.
the CHL's
And-
missing out on that, and that's our entry level league.
Yeah.
So
I know it
it's-
really
it
sucks, man.
sucks.
I absolutely despise doing it, man.
yeah, I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it at the end of the day.
But I
It's
gotta
just,
maintain the integrity and the competitive nature of the league.
yep,
And the only way to do that
Deal with it.
fairly is to ensure that the teams can play their games without issues because there's some horrible person, I'm not gonna say a word that I'd like to say,
yeah.
out in the community that just like, haha, I'm gonna kick you offline just cause.
I'll say it. Piece of shit.
There you go. That's
Like,
that.
it's the nicest
that's a-
way to say it, I guess.
That's the nicer way than what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that was something I was curious about because I personally like now that I'm not in the playoffs, like I'd like to watch those games. 'Cause
yeah.
I feel like these are going to be some good series. So
So I have a fun scenario for the Memorial Finals though before I get my prediction for
Okay.
this series. So Swifty came to me with an amazing question. He's like, if Oshawa and Victoria make it to the Mem Finals, who gets home ice? They have the exact same record, the same amount of wins, and they don't have a head-to-head.
Yeah.
So there's
It,
zero tiebreaker.
I thought, doesn't that go to a game to decide that then?
So Swifty was like, so what happens? Who gets home ice? And I'm like, so I asked some commissioners for their advice, and I got back a few options. I could just say fuck it and flip a coin, and whatever it lands on, that team gets home ice. I could go by whatever the LG site says. So it says Victoria is the 2 seed, and it says that Oshawa is the 3 seed. So I could just be like, that's what it says. That's what it is. Or we can make them play a game 73 to
Mm-hmm.
determine it.
I like that option better
I do as well.
because
That
it's
is
not.
likely what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I like that
But
option.
but I don't think that's going to be the outcome of this series anyways. I have Saginaw on 6
Oh, okay.
because Saginaw is a wagon. And I know how hard Swifty is feeling the pressure now because they took out the 1 seed. He's like, it's been no pressure the entire time, and now that we took out Plymouth, all the pressure's on my shoulders. And I'm like, it's
Yeah, but I mean,
self inflicted pressure, but I guess. But yeah, I have Saginaw on
you know,
6.
Saginaw been if they've been rolling like that. I mean, they just beat the
The,
president's
do you know what?
team, so like,
The one thing that blew my mind with Saginaw is their top line didn't even play together against us until the last game against us. Like their top line just they had avail issues, and their top line literally didn't play until game 4, like together. They're kind of all spread out.
it's a good problem to have if you can mix guys around.
No shit. So
So
I have Victoria Saginaw Mem Finals.
okay,
Yeah,
I think no matter who
I still
makes it, you're gonna have a great Mem Cup game or Mem Cup series. So um, there's a reason these four teams are left. You know, I mean,
yes,
Swift Current's been through what, 2 Game 7s themselves, right?
yes.
So
And
they're
three
the
game
only
6.
team to play more than 1 Game 7, and they made
Uh,
it out of both.
yeah,
At least I'm pretty sure. Anyways, but
yes.
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. They got some grit.
Yes, they do. I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
I think
think I don't know. I love
I
it.
think Oshawa, honestly.
if you see, I feel like Oshawa's the favorite,
Hmm.
and I mean, I can see why,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I've been rolling with the Saginaw since like week 8,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I just feel it. Like I don't know what would be even okay. Another reason I really like this, if it's Victoria and Saginaw, I thought about it earlier. But at the start of the season, when we balanced the divisions, I
Should be right
flipped
there.
those two teams. Like I swapped them.
I know.
Saginaw was Sam Squanch, and I flipped them with Kelowna, which was Angelic Llama. Oh my God, it's Gaines and whoever their other manager is.
Oh, that's
Spooky,
right. I forgot about
spooky,
that.
spooky Gabagool.
Yeah.
They were Kelowna last season. I flipped Saginaw and Kelowna, and then Kelowna and Victoria flipped because John wanted Kelowna.
Hmm.
So like that would be nuts because they would have made the finals in the opposite conference slash league that they were in last season,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool too. So
All right. So
I,
Bucks got Victoria and Saginaw. Vaddy, you
Mhm.
think you got Oshawa and who?
Victoria.
Oshawa and Victoria. All right, so pretty similar on
I
your.
actually
I have
am
nothing
in.
against Hines' team, but they don't score when it matters, I find.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to see MJ and Sam and
I just
all
want
those
Sam
guys
to
make.
finally move up.
No, I don't even care about that. I really want Spec and them to all make it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be good for them.
I wish them nothing but the best, especially with what they had to deal with in round two. You know,
yeah,
Like that
so
sucks.
um, and kind of rolling back to that, they were super pissed.
Oh my
And they
god.
they didn't know that we were talking behind the scenes about what to do with it once you had the proof. And I mean, we all voiced, like, all the commissioners voiced their opinion on what should be done. I think everybody agreed, right? And Brody agreed too.
Hmm.
yeah.
All of us agreed. So I think, and then Buck was just like, yeah, I gotta wait till I'm off work and home, and so it's just like that was kind of a nuts couple days there.
Yo, man, it just drove me nuts. I dealt with getting yelled at from two teams, and I got fucking just bombarded my DMs, my LG site PMs, and I was just like, guys, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm literally doing everything. I'm trying to explain that I'm doing everything, and you're just like, ah. And I'm just like, I'm doing stuff for you, and they're just like, ah.
Yeah, stressful
Just
times.
like absolutely, just like in one ear and out the other. Like, I am doing everything I can.
Hmm.
Hello. And then it's like, check your site PMs, and then they're like, oh, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and didn't realize. I'm like, I've only told you like 8 times I'm doing everything I can. Like,
Yeah.
you need to understand, you have to play the game out. You can't just be like, I get all the reasons why they were upset and why there was so many sus like arguments. I completely agree with a lot of them, but we can't trace anything, so I mean one of the fucking VPNs was from Brazil.
Yeah.
See, one was possible. Like, there was one literally located in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Giselle. Was it a Flyers fan? Likely.
Shut up. Yeah, that.
But like, so I was like, yo, let's like legit like look into at least the Pennsylvania one.
Yeah.
And it turned out to just be a random VPN. And I was like, okay, well, someone's using two separate VPNs attacking a couple players. Like, we have logs, so
Yeah.
we have to replay the game. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, didn't realize. And it's like, you need to realize I'm always one for my managers. I will always go to bat for my managers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I got yelled at regardless from the other side. And then when they lost, they got even like more sour about it. And I mean, I get that. Like, there's a bad taste in their mouth because like they're like, well, we won it fair the first time. And it's like, but did you? Well, yeah, we played the 60 minutes or whatever plus overtime. It's like, but did you?
Yeah. No, I think the right
uh,
call was made on that whole situation. So,
I do too.
um, yeah. So okay, so we got the CHL picks in.
yeah,
I can drop my AHL pick. Buck, you said you thought Ontario in 6, yeah?
yeah. I got Ontario in 6. I think
Yeah.
Rochester's good enough to win 2. I just don't see them winning 3.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Ontario in 7. Um,
Okay.
and the reason why I say 7 is because for some reason these guys just play game sevens. I don't know why, but they just always end up in game sevens all the time. Um, However, I absolutely think it's possible that this could be a 4-1 series because like Rochester's had a great run, and they've got some good players, but if Ontario comes in and they truly play how they can, they could absolutely shit on Rochester.
Oh yeah.
It just all depends on if they show up ready to go, because they've got a way better goalie tandem. They've got
Yeah, they do.
I mean
They
their
really do.
top two lines are hands down better.
Oh,
Their third line's better than the other third line in my opinion. And again, I'm not trying to shit on Rochester. They've done a really good job, but you got to realize like this Ontario team is solid and they're fucking gritty. They've went through a couple game
always
sevens
play.
already. Yeah, they're
They never get off the game.
yep. Like the one
Your
thing,
boys. It's like your boys. They never get off the game either.
yeah, the one thing that Rochester's got going for them is they do run a really good trap, but Ontario's got the players that can easily break traps. Guys that are smart, have good IQ, know the plays to break a trap.
Yeah.
So I fully expect this to be Clemsy and the boys this year that they finally get their Calder.
Good. I mean, you got to get it at some point, right?
Yep. Yep.
So earlier in the chat, like in our Discord, we had somebody bring up a topic for the show about how hard it is for TCs to make it into the league. So I wanted to touch on that
Oh, that's
because that's a really good thing, like to bring up. So like the life of a TC player, because like I get it, you sign up late because you just heard about LG and you're trying to make a roster and you don't exactly know how the site works and like you finally like trying to like figure it out
mm.
and then you just find out that you can't play because you're sitting on a TC.
Yeah.
Like like I remember when I first joined VHL and it was like that for me but it was way more confusing. I'd say like it was tough. Like
Mm.
understanding how it was back in the day. Like even though it started LG, it was confusing a bit. Like the way the site works now compared to when it was like 2013, 14 when I joined.
Yeah.
Tough looks, man.
Yeah. And everyone says the site's terrible now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Vatty, you remember the site way back in the day?
I do.
You remember, managers had to manually enter stats for every single game. Like you needed to take
Yeah.
all the pictures on your phone, and then you had to fucking upload the pictures,
It
and they
was
wouldn't
wild.
register on the website. So then you would have to manually go and enter every single stat line for your player
Mm-hmm.
It was
for every single game.
something.
Like people are like, oh well, the API is broken. And I'm like, yo, at least you guys have an API.
Yeah, and at least we can wait for the API to come back up. Like, jeez,
Yeah.
it used to be so bad.
But like, yeah, back to like being a TC though. Like, I get it. It's confusing, so I can touch on that. Um, like a lot of people don't realize about the TC league, and everyone like shits on it because it's the TC league. Nobody wants to play in a TC league because like that's boring as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's organized drop-ins pretty much, and like I get it because you literally sign up for a position and it says forward, defense, goalie. You don't get to pick left wing, center,
Yeah.
or right D and then left D. So like you can pick, and like when I create the games, it's you sign up for a time slot, you sign up for your positions, that's it, and
Mm-hmm.
then it auto generates when I click a button saying make game, and it
Yeah.
doesn't even take into account the player's secondary positions that they've even picked, like 90% of the time. So just like, oh, look at that. There's 29 signups for this game. Yeah, one game. Like you can easily get two at that. Nope, one game.
I think, and obviously we can't really say much right now, but
Oh
if
no, I'm gonna touch on it a bit
yeah, I I think
because this is my idea.
yeah, yeah,
They're integrating it. That's all.
yep, yep. So I think you've got a good
Outlook
direction,
on yeah.
very good direction for it. So
So for the past 3 seasons now, 3 or 4, pretty much the entire time I've had the TC League going. Everyone's been like, nobody wants to play in a TC League. Like, please rebrand the TC League because no one wants to play for LGTC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's already a slap in the face that you're in a training camp, especially if you're a new player that wants to play, and then you find out, hey, we're LGTC. Like, play this. It's just organized drop-ins, pretty much. Because so, what I was asked by LG McDonald's was, how can we make LGTC better, get players playing and like involved? First thing I said was, please rebrand to LG NCAA
Mm-hmm.
or just NCAA like hockey,
Yeah.
and that's happening. Like we will like 99% chance that that's happening
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be organized hockey. If Triss can code it, it's going to be everything automated with like the team managers and everything. So like the players can sign up for the games and it's just like it'll automatically confirm them, kind of like esports does.
Mm-hmm.
So we just put the line of the game in and it like auto confirms your lineup. Bang.
Yeah.
That's
That'll.
cool.
Yeah, and I mean
And, like,
it's essentially
yeah,
just another league. At that
yeah,
point, it's not a TC league. You know.
no. And
Um.
like if we can add all the schools, you know how many endless teams there could be in possibilities?
Oh, here's a question: will there be legit teams for LG NCAA, or is it still going to be organized drop-ins? Um.
The plan is to have legit teams and still have the team managers run it, like the CHL team managers, because like the goal is to bring back the Q, and I'm hoping with NHL 23 we can do that because I mean crossplay was announced, so
Yeah.
we can play versus PSN. So if we can find a way potentially in the future to make a get the PSN involved,
Mhm.
the Q's coming back. Like there's no way it's not.
Right.
Yeah. And
So
only people are only getting new consoles now, so like
yeah. So with 60 teams, like the amount of TCs that we can have is still pretty serious. And if the players can sign up and it's all automated, it should, and it's run by the CHL team managers because it's all automated, so they won't have to do anything but like click a button. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, that's the goal of it. Yeah. Yeah, because I think
it
where
should be
he's
legit serious hockey because like you're playing with guys on your own team,
yeah
so you're
that's where like
getting chem with guys from your own training camp. So like it's a pro for managers. It's a pro for players because like
yep.
how many games do you go into and it's just like, oh sorry, the lefty and the right D couldn't play tonight, so we need two ECU D men. It's like, oh look at that. I have two guys who played together in NCAA
Yep.
for the last like 8 games. They know how they play with each other. They may not be great together, but they've played together, so they kind of have a feel for how they play. Throw them together, put them in the game.
Mm-hmm. And I think
Or like
a big thing with it too is it'll be different times than the CHL game times. So
love having it separate from the LG game times. One because okay, like so the games right now are at 8, 8:45, and 9:30. One, they're 45 minutes apart. That's done on purpose because if you play the 8 o'clock game, you can still ECU for the 8:30.
mm-hmm.
If you're not ECUing for the 8:30, you can sign up for the 8:45 game. You should be done in time for 9:10. It's 25 minutes.
Yep.
If you're not, you can always leave the TC game if you need to ECU for the CHL.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
then same thing. The last game's at 9:30, and the CHL game's at 9:50. You've got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I think it'll be
they're
cool to
spaced out.
see like the because right now you just get stuck with anybody, right? Like a
Yeah,
drop in. And so this won't be that feel anymore. Like you'll actually be playing with guys on your team.
yeah.
So
And I really hope because it's important to get the TCs involved because you want them to be active. It literally benefits everyone.
mhm.
yeah, it really
Having
does.
inactive TCs does fuck all for anyone. The player loses out because they can't play. The manager loses out because the player's not interested. The team loses out because the player gets eventually banned. Like
Yeah.
it benefits no one. But if they're active, they're playing, they're involved with their team, and the managers are just literally helping by just clicking a button.
Yeah.
or they set up like a guy on the TC who wants to be like a team captain to set it up himself.
Hmm.
All the power, like this something to grow. Like I don't know about grow the league, but definitely maintain the size and get guys coming back.
I think it'll grow because, you know, like when I joined, I had no clue about anything. Like I didn't even have a Discord at that point. I just some random guy in a drop in told me about it, and at that point it was red versus blue games, and that sucked. So to see the TC league transitioning into more of an actual league that gets guys active and playing, and I mean that's
Yeah,
the goal of LG, right? To play
I mean
competitive hockey, and
I remember when I made the announcement for NHL 22 for season 40, like the whole plan I had laid out for the TCs
mhm.
and like for this, and it's literally basically this, and it's like it took an extra year, but it's
Um,
probably gonna happen, and it's like, so I said, it's like, don't chuck the idea, just store it away for later when it can probably work, and
yeah, the only reason that took the extra time though is because of the switch to new gen, right? If
switch to new gen. We were hoping for the site to have been implemented with
Yeah,
the new update because Tris wanted to finish the site before he did any major like changes to format on shit, and I was like, that's fine.
yeah.
And it just didn't work out because we dropped down to 42 teams, and I wanted to do it with 60 or 88, and it didn't work.
So here's a hot take from Wizza here. It's not a bad idea at all either. He says he's got to go back to work, but his idea for TC game times would be 7, 7:30, and 8. His reason for that is because it gives the TC players their own block, separates from CHL games, so owners can actually take the time to watch it versus having to pick between watching their team or their NCAA team, essentially. Which
Do
I mean,
I
that's a
do like
great idea. Definitely something that can be discussed, I'm sure, because
the only issue I have with that is that we do have a lot more guys that are on the West Coast now, and
Yeah,
that's a 4 o'clock game time. Like I went to Calgary and I watched Dude play with like Stockton, and like playing LG games at 6:30 at night, man. Like that's prime dinner time.
yeah,
yeah.
Like for me, anyways. Like I eat dinner at like 6:30, and like
Hmm.
to be like I'm sitting down for dinner. Oh nope, sorry, gotta play LG.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
like,
even
so
my
I can't even imagine 4 o'clock.
even myself being central, right? Like there's times cuz like for me, the actual LG game starts at 7:30 for me, the first one, if
Yeah,
it's AHL or CHL times.
yeah,
And there's times where I don't even leave my office until 6 o'clock. And it's about a 30-minute drive for me to get home. So I'm getting home at 6:30, um, and I haven't eaten dinner yet. I
yeah.
haven't seen my kids yet. So I got like 20 minutes of kid time and time with my wife before I gotta hop on and run a game. But um, so yeah, like that's the main issue with like earlier times, but there's definitely like options to explore to
Yeah.
separate it from the CHL game times. It's
I was
just
thinking, yeah, I was thinking like you could do like a game at 8 and a game at 10.
yeah, something like
So
that.
that
yeah.
way,
That would be a great
just
idea. Like,
two a night, and like run it Sunday to Thursday or whatever. So that and then Wednesdays and Thursdays, since there's no LG, you can throw in a third game at 9. So you do 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
I
The only
actually love that idea.
problem the only thing that like with the leagues like personally, this is me personally, like if I was in the NCAA team, I personally would not want to play on a Wednesday or a Thursday. Those are just like bad days for me. Like they're just not good days for me personally. So when LG switched to, Sunday to Tuesday, like that's perfect for me. And I know there's a lot of guys like that as well.
But
So
I miss having the fucking 5 day schedule sometimes. The 2 2 2 2 1.
See, I never liked
Yeah.
it because like we'd get on and you play 2 games quick and you're like, okay,
But
I,
see,
I liked it because if you got fucking shot on, it was over with.
well,
well, I
don't
liked
get
it
shit
because
on.
it was like, guys only want to stay on it for like 3 hours.
You also, yeah, you gotta remember back when it was 2-2-2-2-1 games were every hour apart.
Yeah,
It was 8:30,
that's
8:30, 9:30, 8:30, 9:30, 8:30, 9:30, 8:30, 9:30, and then NHL was 9:10, 9:10, 9:10, 9:10, 9:10,
I
9.
absolutely hated that. And that's another thing that I hated about that schedule was the time frame because we used to say it all the time like, dude, we could literally play another fucking game right now. And
I used
like
to do it all the
yeah,
time.
my team would be like, "Hey, let's run another game in between." I was like, "Dude, nah, I I don't want to do that." Like
But
as the goalie, like I
the
didn't want to do it.
the the old scheduling, like it was easier for guys to like want to transition into playing with each other after the games,
Yeah,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Like so
guys
it
played
promoted
so
team
much
play.
outside.
Yeah. Whereas like
I- Well, you also
that's
had
the
to
only thing
play.
I
You
see.
also had to play 2 nights a week, regardless.
Right.
So
So
you
that's the
were
only thing I see
forced to.
down about what we do now is like it's harder for me because it's like a job, right? So like I get on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and I'm done for the rest of the week. I just like lay back and like, okay, I'm gonna do everything else.
yeah. I
Like, I look at it now, and it's like, okay, I play Tuesday. Okay, I'm not gonna play Sunday. I'm not gonna play Monday. I'll get on Tuesday at 8. I'll play one warm up game, and then I'll play 3 games and get off.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like, okay, you got a game at 8:30, 9:30. You're getting out to 7. Like literally, you're getting out at 7. You're going into OTP lobbies with your lineup, or most of them, because
mhm,
most guys would get on. You'd go into the OTP lobbies. You'd match up with a team. Like you'd create a game with your team. You'd all like load up on one side. People would join. You'd play like a bunch of games like that. And then
yeah,
you play 8:30, 9:30. Then everyone would get off, and then you had to play either the next day or 2 days later,
Yep.
yeah,
and you do the exact same thing. Like you always played back in the day. Now, well, back in the day, there was also something to play for.
yeah. I play all the time still.
Yeah, but you don't have to grind. Like yo, I
Oh
remember
yeah, no, yeah. There's no reason to grind anymore. Yeah,
like I remember when the games first, like when 14 or 15 first came out, like we had to get the legend like 3 like stat. Like my lines would play from like 6 till midnight, like every single day, and it was just like grind, 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 grind. Like there was like you'd get shit pumped. It's like okay, next game, and then we'd go out and get shit pumped again. Okay, and next game, like
yeah. I don't. I like. So another thing of like why I didn't like the schedule before is because like I've always played goalie in LG, and I
yeah,
was like locked into playing 3 out of those 5 nights, and like for me having 4 children, and
yeah.
I'm not the
I
only
remember.
one who's married and has kids in the league.
No,
Uh,
I do remember that. I used to play 3 nights a week too, and
yeah,
that
that was kind of
that was
like it
yeah.
hampered a lot of family time versus like I play the game a lot now, but I get on later
Yeah, so do
um
I. Yeah,
than
I know what you mean.
usual. So that that's why the schedule now works better for me personally.
Oh
But
no, I love the
the
schedule now
old
too.
schedule
Oh, I do
definitely
too.
had just like anything, the old schedule had some pros to it for sure. Um
I
it,
honestly still believe we should be using the old schedule for playoffs, but that's just me.
I
That's a
that's
whole
I
nother
I
the
discussion.
problem
I
with that
I
is
still love the two two
eh,
two one, and everyone's like, but we've never played on a Wednesday, and it's like, I don't care.
yeah,
Would you
that's
rather have your game 7 broadcast so everyone can watch it?
yeah,
Or would
that
you rather
was
play 3 in one night? And they're like, well, we'd rather play 3 in one night. I'm like, well,
that was elite back in the day because I remember there was one. What season was it? I think it was season 34. I want to say was it 34?
a
Like,
two two
Yeah.
two one was the
and
best
how
schedule
many?
LG has
We
ever
ended up
had.
having 4 game 7s
Yeah,
happening, and Swifty was streaming it, and that
yeah.
was fucking cool. You know, like
Back when there was no booting.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, but like that was pretty cool. The problem with like if we did it for playoffs now, people would have a fucking fit because they'd be like, "Oh, I signed up to play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You know, not this," and it would probably cause a lot of avail headaches for managers.
My God,
But I would
like
like it personally for the playoffs only because it's the playoffs, right? It's not the whole season. So
yeah,
I like having the game seven a standalone on its own because it creates build up and anticipation, and I think that's a cool thing. You know, like it that I really liked about that schedule was playoff time.
like what really bothered me too was like back in the day too, like with the managers, like if you like your whole third line could not play like one like together one day because Avail just sucked. And the manager went up to like the worst player and was like, "Hey, I know you can't play Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
but the rest of your line can. Can I just schedule you there and ECU you?" They're like, "Yeah, cool, no problem."
Yeah,
And or players would be like, "Yo, you scheduled me on the wrong day." The other manager would be like, "Is that okay?" Just like that's how the bail works out. They're like, "Yep, cool, no problem." And like, they wouldn't fucking make a huge fit about it. Like, I get that's a player rights violation now. But, like, it's only if the player really like gives a fuck. But now people are just like give a fuck too much sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it would like with the whole IR thing and why we had to move to that would become
Yeah.
a thing too. Like would create issues too, with that, you know. But like back in the day, you weren't seeing guys playing a quarter of the season and
Oh
still
God,
being
no.
on a fucking roster.
The player
Like
retention rate too.
it, it's weird how the mentality changed in the
I
course
mean,
of 2 years.
the mentality changed when the one game went to shit.
Yeah,
Two, when the player like average like the player base average age dropped from like 25 to like 18.
yeah, yeah.
Like all those I'm gonna say all those kids that came up in like 2016
Mm-hmm.
that are now in their like early 20s that like caused the major boom in like one ego and toxicity, but two just like severely good thumbs at the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It came with the skill.
I also think that the NHL is not nearly as competitive as it
It
was,
used to be.
yeah,
No.
before, right? It's significantly dropped in talent, and I think it's caused like a trickle down.
Oh, big
Um,
time.
and it's the AHL, in my opinion, is the best league to play in.
Oh, it's hands down
Um,
it's the best league to play
you're
in. It's
you're
the
in
best
the
experience you're gonna get on the website.
yeah, and that sucks to say. You know, you like I'm just being
No, it doesn't.
honest.
No, it's always been like that.
I know, but I
That's
mean,
the
like
AHL's.
you would think, like because you, as a competitive player, you want to work up to play in the top league. Well, it's not really like that anymore. Like you see these really good AHL managers, and they're also really good players that
Yep.
they can play in the end, and they could definitely own in the end, but they choose not to because they don't want to deal with the fucking bullshit, and I don't blame them. I honestly, there, I do not blame them.
Their fault. It's just because the
Yeah.
NHL community is just so old. Like a lot of those guys have been around forever and they run with the same crews all the time. And if they get other people, they're just super toxic
Mm-hmm.
to get out of the situation. And like new guys that are like top and AHL managers don't even get a chance unless they're
Oh,
well known outside of like
well, here's a
LG.
here's a good example. Fly, really good player, really good manager, has personally said, "I will never own in the NHL,"
Yep.
and he's a very well liked person in the community as a whole. And you got a guy like that saying, "I will never own in the NHL." That red flag, right?
I
Um,
owned in the NHL and it was the worst mistake I've ever made.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
there's other.
It'd just be nice if we could. I think we're headed in a positive direction with things that we've been discussing.
Yeah.
That will make the league a hell of a lot better. And I'm excited for, when Brody has everything ready to go and to debut to
Official
everybody.
and yeah, I'm excited for when he gets the plan into action.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I think that the player base it's going to be very well received with the player base, top, middle, and bottom, as far
Oh
as
God, I
N,
really
A, and C.
freaking. Oh, I mean, I know it will,
Mm-hmm.
but we all know that there's gonna be
Oh,
it's LG.
yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna have to bitch about it because they're making other changes. It's like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
get it. The league's always making changes. Sorry that we're trying to make your experience a better one.
Yeah. So here's
Like, oh,
here's something from Shakira's here. He says you could do something like how the European soccer leagues do it. Bottom two teams have to drop, and you take the top two who are willing from the AHL managers and move them up to those
see,
teams. But herein lies the problem. Those top AHL managers do not want to own in the NHL
yeah,
because of how they get treated. Because owning is absolutely the most difficult thing to do in LG, no matter what tier you're at, NA or C. It requires the most work, in my opinion. Like, yes, like staff wise, like, everyone's like, oh, staff's so hard. Dude, staff is easier
literally
than,
tell everyone that they're like, "How much is the time commitment?" I'm like, "You're a manager, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Staff's 1/10 of the time commitment."
we have our peak time, right? Like, off season's peak
Yeah,
for us. Off season's peak for us, right?
yeah.
Playoffs are generally pretty damn chill.
Playoffs are
Uh,
quiet.
Yeah, well, except for
It's just
random issues that come up, but
yeah.
regular season, like, yeah, we get asked questions and stuff, but they're
The
just
bulk of the work happens in a 3 week span of off
exact.
season.
Yeah, exactly.
Staff have to be active during off season, and that's normally when they're the most active, anyways, because we're training new guys and we're getting a lot of shit done.
Mm,
But like the workload is like 3 weeks, 85% of it, and then the rest of the season plus playoffs is 15%.
yeah,
It's
like
just staying
once
active.
once the
It's
regular
like
season comes, it's literally just answering questions.
yeah,
Like,
answering questions, answering PMs, making rulings. That's not it.
yeah, that's and you got to if you got a good staff team, it flows nicely. So, whenever anyone
Yes, we do.
asks me, because I owned as well, but whenever anyone like says staff's harder or something like that, it's no, hands down, ownership is
I will.
the
I will
most.
never manage again.
Yeah,
Straight
personally, I
up,
won't either. So,
I will never manage
um,
again. I've managed at all three tiers over 8 years, after over 7 years. I've been
yeah,
staff for over two, and I've been staff since season 36. End of 35. I didn't make playoffs, so they put me on staff right away.
yeah,
So end of 35. So 30, 30. Like God, that's over 2 years, 2.5 years.
yep. So
So,
to the guys that dedicate their time to owning and stuff, I have a lot of respect for those guys. And so when a guy that's a great manager, a great owner, good person, like when they tell me no shot will I ever do this in that
right.
league, like that's like a you got some character problems in that tier. Uh,
You
Well,
know
there's
it's
a whole entire episode we could do, or I could do, for
yeah,
about an hour and 30 minutes, I guarantee it,
oh no,
about
straight up.
my experiences as an NHL owner, Shakira. It's like, uh, and it trickles down. The sad part is it trickles down because shit trickles downhill. I was the guy that nobody respected and went up there and bid on good players and instantly got fucking egoed.
Yeah, didn't
And
even get a chance.
no manager helps you. That's the fun part of it all. They
Yeah,
actually all message you and they want to trape you. They
Yep.
don't want to help you. The seasoned guys and I'm gonna call people out, but like your Sweet Lou's and stuff like that, they don't help you. There's no going in easy. It's like you land on the
Yeah.
concrete floor and you're instantly woken up to reality. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
the whole dynamic needs to change before we start I think if staff starts thinking about bottom two teams have to drop in two teams and your AHL guys wanting to
Yeah.
move up. Like you had to implement your rule about management criteria for AHL, right?
Yep.
And that was one way to make people move up. And hopefully that in a few seasons we see that better crop of the AHL have to go to the NHL
Mhm.
and start booting some of those assholes out of the NHL.
Yeah, and the thing with so the AHL criteria, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, you're just trying to force me to manage in the NHL, and I'm not gonna manage in there." And hey, that's not the point of the criteria. The reason why we had to implement a criteria is because we have really good players managing in the AHL, which is great, right? They also do a good job managing, and they're really good players. It was all 100% about trying to make the NHL competitive by getting those players. What like if they owned, great, that's a bonus. But regardless, it was getting them into NHL bidding at least because that's where they would get a bid because they're worthy of a bid in the NHL. Because
Yep.
we had to try to make the NHL more competitive, and that is 100% the reason why AHL criteria gave it
We've
them.
seen it for the most part in the last couple seasons. The NHL has been more competitive overall.
Yeah,
It's
and
getting
big
better.
names are missing playoffs now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Like
getting
guys
better.
that when would go on 10 season playoff streaks are not making playoffs in the NHL.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I still keep up to date with the NHL. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do
I
I.
hate to admit that I still look at that page, but
Like the way I see it is like the NHL is the most toxic and egotistical, but like also like hard set community.
Mm-hmm.
The AHL is the best place to play in LG, and the CHL is just a whole community on its own.
Yeah. CHL,
yeah,
Like the
like,
CHL is a monster.
yeah, it's
the
a
NHL is
Like
a
different.
combination of the N and the A.
you've got
Yeah.
the opinion people, you've
Yeah.
got the media people, you've got the managers that are super sensitive, you have the players that are super sensitive, you have the players that are assholes, you have the managers that are assholes, like at
Yeah.
every league. But the CHL community at the end of the day is still one community. Like two people can hate each other,
Yeah.
but they'll still chat at the end of the day, somewhat like regular human beings.
I think the thing that makes the CHL a unique tier on its own is the fact that you've got guys that have been in LG since like the merger, and they've just they're not as good at the game as they used to be, so they're not that NHL talent anymore, and but they still want to play. So you got guys that have been around and seen everything transition and have a lot of advice to offer, and some guys that are very opinionated, right? You'll get like Bucks some that's where the opinionated stuff comes in. But I think that absolutely AHL is the best overall LG experience.
Yes.
CHL is still a great experience. Like I have no knocks on the CHL. The one thing that I always hear is LG doesn't give a shit about the CHL. Um, it's all
Yep.
about the NHL and blah blah blah. And I can assure you, like as the AHL commissioner, ask Buck. Like Buck and I worked closely all season. Um,
Yo, ever since I took over, I made sure that that isn't a thing.
yeah, like
That's not a thing anymore. I do not get stepped on. I make
Wait,
sure the CHL is always
wait, Buck, you
there.
have the CHL's back? Oh.
Imagine someone's got their back.
Yeah,
Like
but
I tell managers, I'm like, I get it. Like when I make rulings that suck, I get it. Why? I've been there.
yeah,
Like when I say like I'm sorry, but rules are rules. Like because I've been hit with that too,
hmm
and like I'm one of the most down to earth people. Like I don't get upset. Like I don't get angry at people. Like I it seems like it because I get aggressive, but I'm also
yeah.
like the world's largest troll. So like
Well, my thing is like, here's a really good example of like being the AHL commissioner. I got hit with that a lot. I saw that a bunch. Like you guys just care about this, you don't help out with the CHL. Well, bullshit. Because on Tuesday, every Tuesday, once it got to the last few weeks, the AHL and the NHL have a thing where if a team's 10
yeah,
plus out, by the time we make that post, they can't make call ups. So the first thing I did was that as soon as games ended, any team that was 10 plus points out, they couldn't make the call up because I got that list posted immediately to try and protect those
that
CHL
list was
teams.
posted. Those lists were posted at like 10:30.
Yeah, and that was like a huge goal of mine
Game
because I
the
don't want to
game
see.
ended at like 10:20,
Yeah,
and the list was posted at 10:30. I'm like, cool.
I don't like to see CHL teams stripped of guys by teams that have no shot of making the playoffs. Now, the other thing that plays into that is we like constantly hearing guys saying that's fucked up. We're a playoff team in the CHL. They shouldn't be able to call this player up right now. And like when it's going into the last week or going into playoffs, and it's like, look, guys, like here's the big one. They should have to take a guy from a team that's not in the playoffs.
Oh my god, that kills me
Uh,
every time.
dude, no. Like as a CHL owner, would you look at your TC and not take the best available option? No.
That's what I literally respond to it. I'm just like,
like,
so put yourself in their shoes. Are you
That's the thing though.
going?
No one does that.
yeah,
I'm
that's
like, put yourself in their shoes. You have comparable AG, who's got 96 points, and you've got Billy Bob 123, who's got 16 points and went minus 40 this season on bumfuck I don't know Peterborough.
yeah.
Like, oh well, I take Billy Bob 123 because he's not on a playoff team. I'm like, really? Would you do you really take
No,
that guy who's
Yeah,
a
Thrasher
TC on
management.
everyone?
no. You're gonna
Or are
make
you going to take the number two scorer in the CHL?
you're
You're
gonna
going to take
make
the number two scorer in the
yeah.
CHL.
You're gonna make the best decision for your team to succeed. And that argument of like that's the one that pisses me off the most when people say that we don't care about the CHL because we allow that to happen. It's like, dude, we have so many things in place that we never had before. CHL protections, the 10-point rule. Like, I
No,
mean,
Nobody.
I remember, man. Like back in when I was managing the CHL, I literally had my first line left D get called up to the NHL, like directly from the C to the N, going into the men finals.
yeah.
That fucking sucked. And I had legit like a nobody to replace, so we got fucking dummied. Couldn't carry a good for nothing lefty.
What were you gonna say, Vaddy?
We're gonna go like 3 hours into this if I start talking more on this. So we can just save a whole entire. I mean, between me and Buck alone and you, there's like too
Yeah.
many seasons of management, and
Yeah.
I have so many issues with people. It's amazing that people want to point blame at Boggs and the site when like I have so many issues. Like the fact of the matter is that there's so little respect for each other in this site nowadays,
yeah,
So
and
sad. It's really sad.
that's where I think it fucking starts.
yeah,
But it's like I don't know. There's just a lot to say.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you guys are making great strides to improving everyone's experience on the site, and
That's the
and
goal.
and, and I think that's missed by some people. I think it's seen by a lot of other people though that don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just because, like, I don't know how long I want to keep doing this too, right? Like that place, like being torn down all the time. Like doesn't matter how chill of a person you are or how much you shrug shit off. Like I shrug off everything. Like I don't take anything personally. But like it wears you down always getting shit on too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
look at the last
you
fucking show we did. You guys got you alone got shit on by like an entire team
yeah,
when the entire time behind the scenes you were fighting your ass off for that team.
yeah.
Yeah, it's shit that people don't see, and
Like I don't know.
there's like here's a good example too. That people don't a lot of people don't even fucking remember this. There was an AHL manager one time that literally targeted a CHL team. So we didn't have
Yep.
anything in the rules to prevent that. So what did we do? We NML'd the asshole for it because that's
Yeah,
fucked up, right? Like,
and I'm pretty sure we also made them come to reason and only take half the
yep,
call-ups.
exactly. And then we reversed, like there was some reversals and stuff.
I
But
don't remember what
like
manager it was.
Batty,
I just know what happened to Cardona.
yeah, it happened. No, not just Cardona. Remember Lupp when it happened to Lupp
Oh,
when he had the Everblades?
yes,
That
yes.
was the guy that got NML because he legitimately said, "I'm taking your whole team," and he legitimately did. He went out and traded for every call-up player that they had and fucking called him up. And that guy got NML'd for it. I think he's still on NML actually,
Oh,
because of that situation. But like what Vatty said, um, the problem is like we have too many people, and you can't please everybody. But there's too often times people are reactors to situations instead of
yeah.
just taking a deep breath and seeing
And
how
we're
it works out.
all at fault for it. We've all
Yeah.
done it before. It's okay
Yep.
to be reactive and then take a step back and say, okay, hold on, that's not that. I need to rethink this. Like I did it. Shit, when fucking Seattle took a forfeit on me this season,
Oh,
my first
that one
forfeit,
hurt.
and
That
like, God, ever I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it like that killed me inside. Like that's like holy shit, I hate doing that. And
like yeah.
Yep.
and yet I still like sat back and said, hey man, I at the end of the day I see why you did it and I understand.
Like
Yep.
it it just sucks because like we try so hard for you guys, but like obviously we can't tell everyone what goes on behind the scenes. Like we can't tell you inside talks or like what we've got planned or like what we're doing for you, and then like getting just constantly harassed about like a situation, or like they'll be like I'll get a PM and it'll be like, yo, I'm pretty sure like this guy could be a second tag, and
Yep.
then I don't respond because I just take the conversation and forward it to people who can investigate it, and they're just like Bucks ignoring me, and then they spam my DMs, and it's like I thumbs up reacted, which means I've seen it. Woo!
I think
Yeah.
it goes back to like the simpler things. I being a guy that's been here since right at the VHL LG merger.
Yeah.
Um, the overall just attitude and respect level is just
Oh
taking
yeah.
an unfortunate dive.
Yeah.
And I mean, but I think that's also like you guys are making great strides to make it more universally like, hey, no, you need to have respect for other people. There's something that just happened in WJC that like I'm not even gonna touch on, but like
To
that
touch
was a
on it too, and I
step
forgot.
Mm-hmm.
that we can touch on next week. But like
Yeah.
it definitely was a step in the right direction. Like you have to understand, you have to have like you have to know when no means no and stop means stop. Like
Yeah.
the internet is not any different than real life.
Yeah. We'll
Again.
definitely touch on that situation next week. I mean, I made a whole post in the
I saw
WJC
that.
shout
I
box.
saw that. That whole shout box the last few days has been spicy burritos.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the one thing I want to leave people with is this though. When major shit happens, I feel like people just think staff's like, oh well,
That's literally
no
the
big
way
deal.
that's the way I
Like
feel.
No, we're not just sitting there with our fucking thumbs up our ass. We're having conversations about it. We're discussing it.
Like,
Like
I guess,
Brody,
yeah.
like you know, I
I
mean, it's
feel
not like
bad
it's
for
not.
him.
Yeah, Brody makes a lot of really tough decisions, and he has a lot of great ideas, right? And it's not like we have to be like, "Hey, Brody, is this okay if we do this?" Like, no, he puts the trust in us to make those decisions,
Yeah.
but we also like to include him in that, and he likes to be included in it too. And we go back and forth and bounce ideas off us, and like
Like,
eh,
man,
it's
Gazelle, you're in the commission, like Xbox commission chat.
yeah,
How I'm pinged Brody what, like 40 times during that fucking Victoria Portland situation in like
yeah,
a span of 2.5 days with
yeah,
just like constant info and being like, any update, any update, any update, like need update.
yep,
Like, I don't know, like, or we'll be like, yo, Brody, I have this situation and like this is my idea. I got this or this. What do you think? And then he'll respond and be like, do whatever you think is best.
yeah. Or he'll be like, here's my opinion on it, but whatever you think, like Buck just said, whatever you think's the best outcome for it, roll with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like when major shit happens and people are just constantly coming at us, like in the management chat, especially. Um, it's just like I'm not ignoring you, but I'm trying to resolve this situation here. So if you could quit pinging me 35 fucking times about this issue right now, I could probably have an answer for you.
Yeah,
So
like that was my thing with the Victoria Portland thing too. Is just like I was getting absolutely blasted with like need update, need update, need update, and I'm pinging Brody need update, need update, need update. And I'm just flowing all the information as I'm getting it, right. And
yeah.
like the day that he finally answered, because he was literally dealing with personal shit at the same time, so like it just happened to fall at a really bad time that the game went to shit when he was
Mm-hmm.
dealing with shit. So like I
Wait, you
got
mean you have lives? Holy fuck!
this is what I'm getting to. This is actually what I'm getting to. Like the day that Brody did that and was able to get back to me, I legit like I work for UPS. Like I drive for a living. I lost like 2.5 hours of my day that day just because I was so busy on my phone getting shit like flowing. I legit had to take my whole lunch break and like my paid breaks to type all the PMs, do all the AC rulings while I'm at work in the fucking back of my truck sweating my ass off. Like just because like it's such a time sensitive issue and like it's such a major issue.
No
Like,
wonder why my packages came late.
oh yeah, of
I thought
course.
my packages were sweat filled. Like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Yo, that package didn't go through rain, bruh.
No.
that's
Yeah.
uh that's some
But yeah, like
perspiration of Buck.
people forget that like staff have lives, they have jobs, like that like
Yeah.
the staff thing is one fully volunteer and two we do it on our own time. Like there's days like I'll get pinged like 6 times on Discord throughout the day being like, yo dude, like I have a question for you and I'm like do you not see my Discord status is like if you have a question that isn't yes or no, send a site PM.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
a lot of my, I'm pretty sure all my staff, if not most of them, have that too. And like they'll bounce, they'll go to me, and then they'll go to Facetti, and Facetti's like, "Yo, this manager's messaging me." I'm like, "They messaged me too. I just didn't respond."
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Yeah.
I'll
what's crazy is
respond
you can
when I
ask up
like
here.
like that's like the totem pole for me, is, especially as a manager. Okay, it goes manager for a question, ask someone in the manager's chat.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have an answer, ask a bog. If a
Yeah.
bog doesn't have an answer, which they should, because they'll most likely come to me,
Mm-hmm.
if they don't have the answer already, it's go to Facetti. Nobody likes going to Facetti, so they just go straight to me.
Yeah.
Not to shit on
Yeah,
Facetti, just
no,
Facetti.
yeah.
It's Facetti's
I
Facetti.
get
Everyone love and hate relationship with Facetti.
yeah, like I still get questions from CHL owners
Yeah,
sometimes and stuff, and I have no
I
problem answering that. And
I haven't been NHL staff since season 37, and I still get NHL guys coming to me all the time. I helped you with IHL for literally
yeah,
2 hours, and I had guys messaging me for 3 days. I left the Discord because I was like, I'm out.
yeah.
I'm tired of being pinged. I'm like, I'm literally not IHL staff or NHL or AHL staff. Please stop messaging me. Please message Gazelle. He's the one running the tournament.
Yeah, and
Like,
uh, like I get. I mean, I'm this is no shit, like no joke. Like I get at least 50 Discord DMs, like from
oh
like
yeah.
50 different people a day,
Oh yeah.
right? Because I help not so much now because it's playoff time, but during the regular season, easily, and that's probably being generous, because I do the AHL, and then I also help with the NHL. But then I still get some random questions, like if someone on the CHL staff isn't around to answer a question, because let's face it, people aren't patient. But it's like if you send one of
That's
us,
another thing that's changed over from the
yeah,
years.
it's
You
like,
could ask a question, wait 6 hours, and get the response and be content. Do you not sit around
yeah.
3 seconds later
Practice
like
3G was
answer?
a lot slower,
Well,
okay? And so was GroupMate.
here's the thing though, like this. So I got asked a question by a guy. I was in the middle of something. I had like a meeting at work going on or something, and I think it was 20 minutes, right? And then I had one of my bogs come to me and ask me the question. I was like, "Did so and so just message you or something?" He's like, "Yeah, he said that you weren't responding." I was like, "Bro, it's been 20 fucking minutes." Like I trust me, like I think I'm pretty quick on
Yeah,
most scenarios
I
with
I get that a
responses, but
lot
it's
too.
like dude, it's been 20 minutes. Like, come on.
I get that a lot too.
Like, holy shit, give me a little bit of time here.
Yeah, yeah. I do those Facetti a lot too. I'll be like, "Yo, Facetti, did this person just message you?" And he's just like, "Yeah, like 10 minutes ago." Why? I'm like, sends him. I send him a screenshot of me not answering, and it's been like 13 minutes. It's like,
Yeah, it's
ah,
it's been kind of funny. Oh, Schlack, I'll ask my wife if she could bring me a beer quick, and when we end the stream, I'll throw that down for you.
yeah. I was gonna say, didn't you say you were cutting down there?
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think my final thoughts on like everything we just discussed. I think Brody has the absolute best intentions with everything he's bringing forward. Um, it's headed in the right direction. He's done a great job of kind of trying to curve and bring LG back around to where the community used to be, with as far as being more
Yes.
non-asshole-ish. But like you can only do so much, right?
Right.
But I think LG's definitely headed back in the right direction, and it'll get things will get better, and um, yeah, I think it's only up from here. To be honest with you, nice comb there. I like that, Fatty.
So I was
Yeah,
watching
thanks.
him do it. I was
Me
like,
too, dude. He's got it's just like sitting on top there, and it's just so
uh,
luscious. It looks great.
Thanks.
Looks real great,
he's just doing his persona of sexy cow.
right?
Oh
So
man. But like at the end of the day, like we said, we really do go like at that. Like when we discuss changes now, it's not just like nobody's included. Like all the commissions are on both sides now. So like there's no, oh well, this will fuck the CHL. One, I don't stand for any of that. Literally, is a moment's like, yo, well, we can do this to CHL. Like, no, you're not touching the CHL. You're doing this to the CHL or this to the CHL. That's all you get. I don't give a shit if it makes you unhappy. You're not touching the CHL.
Yeah.
And I'm literally always foot down. Like, I'm very open minded, but when it comes to trying to fuck with the way I run shit, nope. I have my
yeah,
way,
I
and I
think
think people like my way.
like Brody's very involved, but he's also at the same time he doesn't like micromanage us.
No, because he knows how much time we put in.
Yeah, like he like if we're given a task or something, like he knows we're gonna get the shit done.
Yeah,
Um, and obviously at the end of the day, it's not just we come up with it and we implement it. It's we come up with it. He has his ideas, and it usually ends up being a
A
mesh
a
of
full roadmap of
yeah
ideas.
of everything. So um, there's a lot of discussion between staff members of all leagues constantly.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah. So, and I think that's something that we are doing really well as a group personally that people don't see. So, everything's getting
Sam
better.
Sam's in the chat saying I should run for prime minister. Sam, I can't do politics. I love LG. I love real hockey, but politics not my thing. That's the only reason why I'm still in LG is because I just love hockey.
All right, we're winding down here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the fridge, grab a beer, do the chug that Schlack's asking for,
And then we'll
and then
call it
we'll
that.
sign her off,
Yeah,
and maybe
I'm tuckered out,
yeah.
man.
Oh
I think
man.
we might have to make Vatty do a sexy cow though before we sign off. I'll be right back.
All right.
I mean, he can always do that sexy kill. Look at that fantastic goalie image in the background. I mean, that's
That's
almost
pretty
as good
awesome.
looking as the guy himself.
Almost.
Oh,
Not quite.
not quite. I don't know.
What a great fucking discussion we had tonight, though. Like,
I
for
mean,
real.
I'm not upset by the discussion because like there's a lot of people who watched this show that don't know what LG was like in like 2014, 2015. Okay, so first of all, staff answered whenever they wanted to because everything towards them had to be on site PMs because hey, there was no Discord. Hey, before Discord there was GroupMe, but before GroupMe we had to use WhatsApp, and that requires phone numbers. Like I
Oh
remember
yeah.
being in fucking team chats from like 4 different leagues at the time, and it was like, "Yo, our team chats on WhatsApp. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, not giving out my phone number. Just wouldn't be in the group chats." Like team chats, like on some teams, I have like 8 people out of 17.
Yeah, I remember back when they were in Facebook Messenger sometimes, too.
Sometimes, yeah. Facebook Messenger was a big one. That one I wasn't so bad about. I just didn't want to give them my phone numbers.
What was
Yeah.
there's the other one, KIK?
Nick?
Kick?
Kick, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was just for nudes when you were 14, but
Yeah, that
when
too.
you wanted to see like the pictures of the girls on
Yeah.
the internet, that's
Sure. Yeah.
Like and then we went to GroupMe, and I thought honestly GroupMe was great.
Ruby was great.
GroupMe it was Discord, but like way before Discord. Like you could do
Yeah,
pretty much the same thing, but you only like you could do it with your phone number, you could do it with your email,
Yeah.
and like some of the best management chats I've ever been in were on GroupMe. Season 25 AHL management group chat was unfucking real.
Hughes, bring back AIM, okay, if you're old
Yeah.
enough.
There you go. Hell yeah, dude. I remember
AM
hey,
MSN.
set your status to away. You don't sign off. You just set the away status. And, I'd be like, yo, out pimping these hoes meaning buck, BRB 20 min, Do you remember
Yo,
those
you
statuses?
those
Or
statuses where you would put the song you're listening to.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
MySpace group chats.
Yeah.
Man, I could name like
Yo,
70.
I do remember that. I do remember Skype being a big thing back then too.
God,
Skype
I just
was
have bad memories of Skype.
Zoom took over Skype, and I'm so happy that that happened. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zoom's the new Skype.
yeah, for sure.
Uh, how the technology in gaming and communication has changed in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. Um,
Did you chug that beer?
I did. You didn't see it?
I
It was
may have.
it was
I
fucking cold.
may have zoned out. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you guys were
I'm
discussing
about to be a
something.
sleeping cow on the fucking show right now.
Yeah.
you're going to
Um,
be a sleepy cow, so that means we should sign off then.
yeah, yeah. I've said my final thoughts on everything we discussed there.
Yeah.
So I don't really have anything more to add. Vanny, do you have anything?
Again, let's have some fucking respect. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Buck.
Well, the only thing I got left to say is make sure to keep tuning in because starting next season, we are doing this on our own Twitch channel. So any bits, cheers, subscriptions, anything will be going towards charities. So when you subscribe to us next season, just know that your money will be going to a good cause and that we will be doing it based off of charities that you guys suggest or pick.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
That's a good point. Keep bringing
um,
that up.
but without further ado, I hope you guys have a great weekend and we'll see you next time.